Wow, what a privilege to be alive today. It's a joy to see the beauty of this wonderful Sunday. Gradually, we just discovered that the years is rolling. This is Shematters with Olufunke Adetuberu. Please, I want you to do me a favor this afternoon. Please call someone. Today is a special edition for fathers, and today is Father's Day. It's going to be heavy, it's going to be loaded, it's going to be encouraging, it's going to be insightful. Please do me a favor. Send a text to someone. Call your friend. Please call your friends, especially the male folk. Today is the day of the fathers, and I want to wish every good fathers happy Father's Day. If you're listening to me today and none of your children said happy Father's Day to you, you have to go and rethink, because it means that you're not making impact. You've not touched their lives. You've not left something in their heart to remember you, because even if they're not constant or they're not conversant with the social media, definitely somehow is flittering all over the place that today is Father's Day. I want to celebrate all good dads, wonderful daddies, amazing fathers. Your father takes you further, takes you faster. Your father is your hero. Every child's father is their hero. Every child's father is their pride. I want to celebrate great fathers who cares so much about their children, who loves them. I want to wish every one of you a happy, wonderful, amazing Father's Day. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. On behalf of the CEO of this wonderful station, there's no other person, is Evangelist Yinka Joel Ayefele. I want to say Ogbeni Oja. Anyway, Yinka Ayefele, I want to say thank you for allowing this program to stay on and touching lives, making impact. You know, most of the time when people talk about shematters, moment to ponder, I used to wonder, who are they talking about? I'm so grateful. It's a privilege to be relevant, and I'm not taking it for granted. I am not taking it for granted, and it's from my heart. I'm not taking it for granted. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to all the Fresh FM families. We are just there to make sure that this station goes on and on and on, and without any hiccups. Once again, thank you. I want to appreciate my producer, Tayo Faliti. Thank you so much for making this program a reality. Everyone is appreciated and validated. I enjoyed what EOB said today. That was heavy. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, EOB, for just being yourself, and God bless you in Jesus' name. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. This is Shematters with Olufunke on your one and only darling station, Fresh FM 105.9, right in the city of Ibadan. We are making people fresh. It's so amazing the impact that this station is having on everybody in the world. You know, I used to say that because you don't do parties for those who are suffering, actually you don't have a problem, because sincerely some people have called me this week, since last week, you know, episodes, and it's like when they share their story, I used to say wow. Wow. You know, a person actually sent me a text from the US. I told him, I said, in one of these days, I'm going to put him online. We're going to look at the way we're going to do it, put him online to share his story to the world. And he said he wouldn't mind. And that is deep. If a man goes through that or went through that and he could be who he is today, there is no one that cannot stand out. There is no one that would go through things that is higher than him or her at that particular time, that he's not going to come out better. What I'm saying all the way is, you don't have to come out bitter, you have to come out better. Unforgiveness, bitterness is like drinking poison, thinking someone would die. Somebody has hurt you, he has raped you, messed you up, broke your heart, did everything, and you are still holding the person in your heart. You're going to finish yourself. Please don't. Let go so that you can let God. You know, God, forgiveness is actually a gift you give to yourself. You're not giving it to the person, you're giving it to yourself. And if you give that gift to that person, oh, amazingly, you find yourself healthy, happy, and blessed. And that's the way it works. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. Like I said, we have a special episode today. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be wonderful. I have a clinical psychologist in the house. It's no other person. It's Olufunke Adetuberu. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing program that we're going to have today. And of course, I have my guest in the house. Don't forget, no name, no face, no identity. I'm going to keep her life safe under the arms of the Almighty God. I want her to be kept like that. And I've heard a lot of people saying, well, we don't mind even saying it openly. I don't mind, but still I mind, because sometimes, when I look at the scriptures, and I heard that woman in John chapter 4, when she started talking about her past, she has got into her future before she began to talk about her past. I want her to get there before we begin to talk about her past. I want to welcome you, my guest, to this program. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I'll be going for this music break. Then we're going to let the cat out of the net. I went somewhere to preach some years ago, and the person said, you are opening the can of snake, not the can of worm. I think today we have to open some cans of snakes. But don't worry, it's not going to bite anybody. The only thing that will bite you there is the truth. And the truth has the ability and the capacity to set free. It is the knowledge of the truth that you have that sets you free. Truth is a reality. Some people believe so much in lies. They live in lies, they sleep in lies, they snore lies, they connect with lies. And they have believed so much in that lies, and the lies has become the truth to them. It's a matter of time. Everyone that is living in lies is a matter of time. One day you wake up and it will dawn on you and say, wow, I've really, really messed things up. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu once again. I'll be right back after this music break. Thank you for listening. Please tell someone, send a text messages, WhatsApp someone. I have to do a broadcast, send it everywhere. Tweet it. Please help me to do it, to tweet it. Send it on Instagram. Tell them to listen to this destiny molding program. It's going to change somebody's life. Somebody's story is going to be written. If you are watching me on Facebook, please retweet. Please help me to just keep telling people to watch it. It's not because of me, it's because of what is important that we're going to be talking about today. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back. Welcome back to shematters with Olufunke Adetuberu. He alone is worthy of all our praises, all our glory, all our adorations. He's the Almighty God. He reigns and He rules in the affairs of men. It is not over yet. I want to encourage fathers this afternoon or this evening that are going through challenges in the area of the paying bills and all that. I want to encourage you. Please keep keeping on. The only thing that helps a relationship is communication. If you keep talking about the things you're going through and telling your children, telling your wife, all will be well, it's going to get better, they will appreciate it. Don't nag, don't fight, stop reacting because there's no money. Please, just because if you keep mourning because there's no money, your family will mourn. You don't have to mourn because there's no money. Money is coming. It can only get better. The path of a just man is always as a shining light that shines more and more unto the perfect day. And the perfect day is very close. I discovered some truth. I've written 50 books. One of them is Love Note to Fathers. And because today is Father's Day, I want to really go deep into the dynamics of fathering. Please, if you are a man, if you are a husband, please listen. If you have a friend, please text them to listen to this program. Let them tune in to Fresh FM 105.9 in the city of Ibadan. Please tell them. If you are a young man and you are not yet married, I want you to stay glued to this station. Thank God you can watch us back on Facebook. It's being recorded live, so it's going to just be there for life. Please go back and listen to every statement. We have to dot the I's and cross the T's when it comes to fathering. Can I say this? Everybody stems from a home. There's no child that comes to this world without a father. And I want to tell everyone listening to me, you are not a mistake. Your father may not want you. You may be called a bastard. There's no child that is a bastard, actually. Because they used to say that it's only a woman that knows the person that impregnated her. There's no child that is a bastard. And you're not an accidental discharge. You're not a mistake. So don't live your life living in that pain, that torture of, oh, I'm a bastard. You're not. They might call you that, but that's not who you are. You are a special species. You are a treasure. Nobody, if someone that values you, oh my God, I was preaching somewhere and I did an illustration. I can't do it here on air, but probably one of these days I will let you get the picture of what the picture I was painting when I was ministering. Nobody is a mistake. Whatever happens, you came to this world for a purpose and for a reason, and you are not here because there's no one to fill the earth. God allows you here, and you must fulfill that purpose, and that purpose is important. I have a story that is very, very pathetic, and that's why I'm going to bring in the psychotherapist to join me this afternoon while I connect it with her case. Like I said, your father takes you further. Every child's father is their hero. Let me ask you a question before I proceed. And don't forget, we're still going to take some calls. There's so much we want to discuss in this almost 45 minutes, and my heart is full. Let me ask you a question. Did you have any opportunity to ask about your dad, or go to see your dad, or talk about your dad? Is there any vacuum? Because, you've told us, maybe I should just give you a summary of my guest. She found herself as a babe, as a child, looking for love from home. She just said one day she just discovered that her mom got married, and she had to look for a way to go out from age 5. And I was puzzled, because at the age of 5 she could remember everything that happened to her. She actually said, she's very intelligent, I know. She said that anytime that she gets to school and she's given an award, she wishes parents were there to just clap for her and celebrate her, because with all the gifts, she said she could probably they give her more than 3 or 4 gifts for doing well in class, but nobody is there to say well done, how are you, or give her a hug. So she got to become an adult, and she was telling us her experience as an adult. But because today is Father's Day and it's a special edition, I want to ask her, was there any time in your life that you felt if my dad were to be there, he would have protected me, he would have just validated me? These are practical issues, practical situations. I'm tired of being theoretical. We want us to make it real. Yes, go ahead, my guest. Don't forget, no name, no face, no identity. Go ahead.
Yes, there were different times. In fact, many times I just wanted a father, because there were some questions I had from my mom and she couldn't even answer me. And I faced a lot of challenges. For example, the day I started menstruating, I knew it was menstruation, and I just needed somebody to tell me, okay. And the next thing my mom said, she tried though, but she was like, just don't move close to guys and everything. And I couldn't say anything. Then later, when guys started coming to me in secondary school, I just needed to talk to a man that could advise me, because I knew guys were coming.
Please hold on. I need fathers to understand this. And I just used to say that it's a thief that knows how to monitor a thief on the rock, because a lot of people are listening to me and they don't speak my language. I just wanted to explain that. What that meant is this: if you are a man and you have a daughter, and your daughter have suitors, because you are a man, you have insight, you understand how guys behave, so you can always tell your daughter, don't go there, don't listen to that. Now, parents, please stop lying to your children about sex education. I am not permitted at this hour of the day to talk about sex education, but please bring it down to their level. If your daughter or your son asks you, how does baby come? Don't say, we slept, blah, blah, blah. Please don't. Come to their level and explain to them in a way they will understand. That's why to raise children, it takes a lot of wisdom. I've heard a lot of mothers that will say, well, if you allow a man to touch you, you are pregnant. And that's a wrong information. Now, she said that she needed a father to just put her through that information, because that information was sitting somewhere and you were seeing guys. Go ahead.
Yes, guys were coming since I was a very young girl, since primary school. Guys used to come. So if I should talk about it, my mom would just shout at me and tell me to keep quiet. So, and my stepfather was very promiscuous, so I was very careful of him. He was not...
How do you mean? Yes, I remember you said something about that. Can you quickly say that before I get into the therapy?
Okay, there were several times my mom would travel and then you bring different ladies at home.
Now wait, therapist. you know why I had to shut myself and cut her? As a sexual addiction therapist, you are a clinical psychologist.
Yes.
I'm a sexual addiction therapist. We discovered that every child that becomes sexually promiscuous, they were children that were exposed to sex wrongly.
Precisely. It's very simple. That's why when we're making assessments, we look at history and we get records of all these things, because most of the times these things are stemmed from a young age. You understand, when the child is just developing, their developmental stages, where they know little about something, and once a child gets things the wrong way, gets an information the wrong way, the life and the ideology of that information will be totally perverted for the rest of their lives.
Wow.
It's even going to be very difficult for them to even pick up because most times we are formed by the first things we learn about something. So most times they have to retrain themselves. If you want to learn a new thing over something you've learned, you have to unlearn it to learn a new thing. So if you have a wrong ideology about sex from a young age, and you're carrying it over, you're going to have a totally perverted ideology of sex for a very long time until you get retrained about it. And most times you'd have made a lot of mistakes before you can even. Most times you might even start learning by experience. And learning by experience is one of the worst ways to learn, because you start chipping things together, making more mistakes, trying to build something that you've damaged. So it's a very messy process.
Thank you, therapist. I have been privileged to help a lot of men and women that have sexual struggle. And you know what? All of them, none would tell me that they were not exposed to sex when they were. Somehow, it's either they have elders in the premises that are playing on their emotions, they are pedophiles. Some of them, it was an uncle. Some of them, they just stumbled at their parents or at someone that were in the very act. I'm trying to be modest. And before they know it, they have wrong impression of their sexuality sticked into their minds. And before they know it, yes, let me ask you a question. The therapists have said it. I just want people to know that these are practical issues. Personally, I don't cry over spilled milk. But one thing is sure, we have to start cleaning the mess. Some of this binding and losing we are doing, I believe in binding and losing. I started my ministry with demonology and all that. But I have come to understand that some of these things, they are emotional bondages. They are just stuck in your feelings and your emotions. You've prayed, you've fasted. I've seen people that will come to and say, I've fasted, I've prayed, I've done everything. I'm stuck to pornography, I'm stuck to masturbation. I cannot leave. I want to leave. I have a conscience that is telling me I cannot be visiting prostitutes as a child of God, but I'm battling. Was there anything like this in your life? Can you please be as practical as possible and be very, very modest?
There were several. Well, it was my stepfather that exposed us to pornography.
Wow.
So we started watching pornography, and then...
At what age, please?
I think age 7, yes. I remember, because I came back from Lagos at age 7, 8, so like around that age. We started seeing pornography. You go and sleep and then we pick up the tape. Then we were using videotape. So we insert it and then we start seeing it in the middle of the night. And when we sleep, we wake up. Actually me, I didn't know until it was now I got to know that it was sexual arousement. I just sleep off in the sitting room and then I find myself getting aroused in the morning. So it was later the housemate told me that he used to do a lot of things.
With yourself?
Yes.
Now, I'm pained because we are living in a... Listen, let me explain this to you. As my profession, I discovered that there are 3 sources of sexual struggle. Number 1, family system. If your parents had that issue, and you might have the issue, you're from a polygamous home, your father had 10 wives, you have 10 of them for 20 women, blah, 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 all sorts. Then, of course, childhood wound. Now, with the childhood wound, plus strong sexual exposure, that naturally makes her having serious issues. We're going to talk about it. We are not telling stories, we are touching lives. We are mending lives, we are making impact. We are telling the world that all these things that nobody is talking about is sitting somewhere and is perverting people's mind, is putting them into trouble, and is truncating their colorful, beautiful, excellent destinies. It's truncating it, and that's why we're here. Now, let me ask the therapist, because this is practical. She made a statement. She said her stepdad, as it were, brought pornography CDs to the house, and they got. Were you addicted to it? Okay.
But the memories won't just leave.
Go ahead. That's where I'm going, because deliberately I allow the clinical psychologist to address this, because in recovery we understand that the sexual activity is not in the glands, it's in the brain, and you talk about retraining the brain. So please tell us. She said the memory cannot leave. Go ahead.
It's like obviously when you are young, you're like, you come to the world empty. You understand? Whatever you place in a child's mind is the foundation of what they are going to build on for the rest of their life. That's why I'm not even going to I don't want to even major on the child's aspect for now, because I'm going to go to fathers. You understand? This is Father's Day, and what we've learned in our culture is that because our culture gives a lot of power to men, it's a male-dominated society, and that's one thing in life. If you want to know a person's true characteristics, you give them power. You see how they behave. And now it's very, very rare to find a man, a responsible man. I don't know why, because
their own fathers too, their fathers too were not responsible. It's not sending a child to Harvard or sending a child to university, exactly, or making him pay the bills. That does not make you responsible. Exactly. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, therapist.
Exactly. So giving a man having such power, there's little is in cases, you hear some cases after a man has done everything wrong, mother will still tell the man, he's your father, go and prostrate to him. That's not a bad thing, you understand, but it's because of the way the culture is built, and men need to understand some things. You being a man, you have to have a high level responsibility
of integrity,
responsibility. I'm not saying you can make mistakes, but your ability to come out from that mistake, understand what you did, and be responsible for it, and to see such an example now. How would a young lady's father expose her to pornography at the age of 7? As a uncle, as a father, as a stepfather, as a man, God has given you so much power. You have the world has given you so much power. Society has given you so much power. You can do and undo. You can destroy generations. You can create generations. And you having such ability, and you damage someone so bad.
Just wait. You remember in one of the shematters, I brought a lady to the station, to this shematters, anonymously, no name, no face, no identity. And her father was, you remember the case, we interviewed her together. Her father, and I agree with the stepdad, but her father was actually sleeping with her.
It's unbelievable. And many times these men are suffering from serious mental issues, psychological problems, emotional problems, serious mental issues. But as a man, it takes a high level responsibility to have insights to your problem, to understand that this is. Do you know how difficult it is to actually accept you have a problem, not to talk of being responsible for it and working on how to change. I'm not even bashing the people that have problems and issues, some addictions, but as a man, you can choose to multiply that problem by ignoring it, and because you
living in lies and denial,
because you definitely ruin other people.
Absolutely,
it's a very, 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 very delicate subject, and it's just sad because many times men just tend to keep abusing their power. What makes men irresponsible? What makes you see the irresponsibilities of men is because of such power they are placed on. Giving birth to 3 children, that is a kind of power placed in your hand. Having a wife that is very subjective to your will and your opinion is a kind of power placed in your hand. Being in a society where everybody says the men's world is a kind of power. As a man, as a responsible man, your ability to handle and manipulate that power to create good, shows that you are one of the greatest men on this planet, because it's extremely rare and difficult. You understand? But it takes being a man. Being a man is not just all about I'm a father, you give birth to children. Anybody can be a donor. Anybody can be a father at the age of 13.
Absolutely.
You understand?
As long as
it's just sad hearing this and knowing all these things. There's no, in my opinion, I don't think there is too much of an excuse for it, because there are some people that would have grown up from a horrible background, and they choose to live differently. That's why I give kudos to all those moms that did it single-handedly. There are some moms that are very strong, did all these things single-handedly without a father. They must have had a special grace, because your ability to bring up a child. Now, for example, in this case now, if she was with her mom single-handedly, there would have been a lower chance of being exposed to pornography at that age.
So even if there's a separation,
might have changed the scenario.
My God.
You understand? So for a man to now come to a life with such responsibility and power and create a minus, to create a negative impact, that man, I don't know what to say.
Thank you, therapist. You know, you were making some heavy dosed statements. You said something now that just talked to my heart. You said if the mom had waited, probably, let's assume that there's a separation. I mean, God hates divorce, but he loves a divorcee. Let us assume that there is, a separation. That's why I tell them, I said, no matter what it is, never make a decision based on emotions. Never make a decision based on emotions. You understand what I'm saying? I've noticed that women, as soon as the relationship is out of order, no more relationship and everything, what happens at the end of the day is, let me just get another person to fill my emptiness. Therapist, you understand what I'm saying? You just want to fill that emptiness. You want to quickly get another person. Honestly, have you noticed that most second, third, fourth marriages hardly works? I've seen women that are separated, and the next thing they picked another relationship, the man will just take advantage of you. You are vulnerable and gullible. He will stay with you.
You've been damaged. You've not worked on yourself.
Exactly. You can't just do that. The best thing is to get accountability partner, people that are healthy emotionally, or people who are also going through their healing process, bond together, work on yourself together. Before you know it, you become a wounded healer. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. This is She Matters with Olufunke. I want to say thank you so much for listening to me. It's getting exciting, it's getting interesting, and we're having a good time here, right in the studio. Of course, it's your one and only darling station, Fresh FM 105.9 in the city of Ibadan. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back after this music break.
You know what? Doing that self-esteem, very simple. Something can.
Oh yeah.
She knows. I come in right now.
Welcome. Oh yeah, let me just come in. Welcome back to She Matters with Olufunke Adetuberu. Yes, I know we have a lot of callers and people are really itching to communicate with us, but we need to pay some bills. Can we just quickly listen to this? I'll take that again. Pardon me. Let's quickly just listen to this advert before I go ahead. Thank you for listening. Okay, let's continue. Let's go ahead. Well, it is well. We're trying to get it ready, boys. Like it's not getting ready. Well, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your life, my guest. Please go ahead and tell us some things that you shared with me in the closer, because your father, like I said, is your hero, is your pride. And you just told us the aspect of being exposed wrongly because your father, the protector, the provider, the preserver of life, of your seed, was not available. Tell me, that experience you had in your first relationship with a man. No name, no face, no identity. Go ahead.
Wow. My first relationship with a man, it was bastardizing. let me use that word, because I fell in love with this guy because I love pastors a lot. So he happened to become he happened to be a pastor, a student pastor. And then we got talking, and somehow he just, one thing led to another, and that was where I got my first sexual exposure, as in the act itself. And then anytime I bring it up that I thought you're a pastor and everything, he would just tell me that he can't help it and everything. So later he told me that his parents too are just like mine. That his dad beat his mom like there was even a day he called me and I heard his dad beating his mom. He put it on loudspeaker so that I can hear. He was used to the fact that his dad was always beating his mom. And they are also Christians.
No, wait, the therapist. You could see that she's damaged before we start taking some calls. When you are damaged, you are attracted to men and women that are damaged. Now, I've never seen a child that has a struggle emotionally, whether they are being battered or shattered, molested, whatever, that are not attracted to men who are also damaged. And that's why today is Father's Day. My heart bleeds because there is no reason for her to have been attracted to that young man who was also damaged because she was damaged. Can I just plead to the men listening to us today to restitute? I'm not talking about the kind of restitution that we preach where we gave our life to Christ and they say if you have done something to another person's husband, go and say. That's not what I'm saying. Change. Do you know that, is it true that this thing that just happened to her made her to be attracted to this guy that she just talked to us?
It's very, very, very simple. You understand? She
Please be loud. I know it's getting deep.
It's actually a very deep subject. She went through a very horrible background. And as a human being, she's a female. She lacked the presence of her father in her home. She lacked the presence of a man, of a masculine love, of a fatherly love. So the next thing to do is to look for. It's normal. It might not be conscious. It's a very unconscious process. Is to seek solace somewhere else. And obviously, because of her fear,
looking for love in wrong
places, and because of that fear, she obviously thought, okay, let me create a standard, which was very wise. Okay, let me create a standard for myself to look.
And
she said the standard will be the pastor, which is a wrong standard.
Of course,
because a pastor does not mean that you are not carrying.
Let me say this. You know, we are tripartite being. When you are born again, is your spirit that is born again, your soul, and your body is not born again. It's not pastoring. You understand what I'm saying? Body does pastor. Now, before you became born again, like she's been damaged, she was damaged, the guy was damaged, he gave his life to Christ, his spirit was born again. But the load, your load can be as tall, as big as 10 bags of cement, or as tall as Cocoa House. I live in Ibadan. And you are bringing those baggages into the faith, and you refuse to jettison. If you don't drop those baggages.
Wow, wonderful. I'm hearing this from a spiritual perspective now. So you are trying to also tell me that even when you are born again,
of course,
you are carrying your physical disorders, your damages, your psychological problems.
Definitely.
So it doesn't just wipe off.
No, how can it be wiped?
Because people need to understand.
No, I need to explain to you. The Bible even says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 23, it said, I pray that your spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of the Lord. So we are tripartite being. Jesus said in Matthew 12:43-45, he said, when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he walks through that place, seeking rest and findeth none. He said, let me return and check. If he comes back to that house and he finds it clean, he's coming back. It means that there must be a program.
There must be
a therapy, a process of changing. Accountability, importantly, accountability. Somebody that you will say, well, this is my past. I've gone through this, I've aborted, I've killed, I've done this, I was raped, I was molested, I had low self-esteem. Now I'm saved. My spirit is saved, but my soul, I'm feeling bad. And I've given my life to God, but why was I lying? Why do I want to hold another woman's husband? Why do I want to sleep around? Then you have somebody to open up to be transparent to. A lot of us, we wear masks, we cover up. We are wearing so much mask on this, all in the name of Christianity. I don't want to say that man is not a pastor. He loves God. He's loaded, but he's wounded. Go ahead with your experience.
Okay, and well, till now, there's no relationship that has worked. I've been with the believers, I've been with the unbelievers, I've been with the Muslims. Because I'm a very adventurous person.
Obviously.
I tried everything. There hasn't been anyone. I tried my best to be cultured, mannered, and everything. I still found that it was always coming out, especially the violent parts. Let me mention it. There were times when I have threatened a man with cutlass before. And later I had to trace it to what I saw growing up. Right?
And you are not even married.
That's why I said we are product of our experiences. Whatever you experience in your past, that's why we are very careful, even when we are in our practice, because whatever damage you cause might show in the next 20 years or 50 years or 15 years. It's not something you see immediately. It might just be a seed that you just plant, an experience, something bad that just went down, and in the next 15 years you are seeing the backlash of it. That's why, from my own subjective perspective, I believe the power, the person controlling the will to people's lives is always the men, the fathers. We have to. That's why it's Father's Day. We have to bring this to their consciousness. You have to be responsible. You are responsible for a whole lot of things, generations, futures, destinies. So you have to really be responsible.
I need to. When my guest was talking, I was going to ask her if she was still born again. I know. I mean, I've been trained. I know she's still born again. But you heard what she said. She said she has found love everywhere. You heard that. If she permits me to say this, I was just in my office one day and I saw a text. He said, "Ma, I'm doing an abortion now. I wanted to passport, but I still have to put myself together." Is that true?
Yes.
You can't blame her. It's like
blame care.
You experience. You are already formed. Your experience has made you. You understand? And there's nothing. If you keep doing things the same way, there can never be a change. If no force has come to change whatever is going on, nothing can happen.
Thank you, therapist. We're going to take some calls. I know I've seen a lot of red lights. We're going to take some calls. You said something now. There must be a program, a plan. Anybody, hear me and hear me good. I'm talking professionally and ethically. Anybody that is struggling with this or sexuality and you have not sought help, you are just deceiving yourself. If you are sick and you don't treat yourself, you cannot be okay. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. Yes, if you want to call us, you can call us on 080-3232-1059, 080-7777-1059, or +234-809-222-1059. Yes, I know we have. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Who is on the line and where are you calling from? Thank you for calling. Are you asking a question or what's your contribution?
I just want to make a contribution.
Go ahead.
I'm also
just make it snappy. We are really, really running out of time. Thank you.
All right.
Very short.
I just want to tell you that I attend your program, Freedom from Masturbation and Pornography.
Thank you. Wow. He actually attended a program I had, Freedom from Masturbation and Pornography. Thank you so much for making that comment. I know I'm not through with all of you that have attended my class on freedom of pornography and masturbation, but don't worry, that one will come up. Hello, another person is on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Please, if you are calling us, can you move away from your radio set so that we can hear you?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, my personal number is 080. Please, there's a lot of noise at the background. I'll do that. My personal number is 080-232-42389. Please don't call us. Can you just send us a text, please? It's also my WhatsApp number, 080-232-42389. Therapist, before I pick some calls, do you know that if the issue of healthy fathering, healthy parenting, healthy sexuality is not addressed, do you think we can have a good society? Because it's the men that dominate the society. I was in a meeting yesterday and they were talking about, people embezzling and all that. These men, as soon as they see money, the next thing is women.
That's why I said it's difficult for them to handle power. Money is a kind of power as well. Once you have such power, such capability, that's when you see all your addictions start getting foiled, all your negative attributes start showing. You understand? And it's like a trend. That's how the society has been, and it's getting worse. And when something becomes a trend, a negative trend, it becomes a negative downline because it gets worse in every generation.
Thank you so much, therapist. Let's take another call. It's as if we should just spend 2 hours today, especially dedicated to me. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Contributions, and number one is that it should not all in the name of spirituality and holiness.
Thank you, sir.
That one man is silicon, one man is big and man of God. Nobody is man of God.
He's a man, actually, before he became the man of God. So the dimension of human being is still there. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And number two, contribution that you, our mommy, I know you are a mommy, and I know you are a Christian. So a lot of Christian is done on the father. He contributes 70% of the crimes we are experiencing now in Nigeria is the son. And we are not doing a lot. A lot of fathers now have left their institution from. And we need to get to it.
Thank you, sir.
The sanctions are a motivational speaker and the seminar. Some don't just coming up.
Yes.
Because people will just say, I will marry and take care of my family. What's that? Marriage seminar comes to be discussed.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution. I really appreciate it. What he's saying is that whether we like it or not, we are living on an explosive. Somebody said gunpowder. The powder has exploded. When I was growing up, I used to tell people that the only form of pornography that we know was Ikebe Super at that time. That's the only thing we know. But now, just a click away, you are everywhere. It's dangerous. We are living in a system that is very scary. And if you're a parent, you're a father, you're a mother, you're listening to me, can you just change? Put yourself together and start working on your family. A child that is damaged now cannot produce well in the future. Your health is determined by your relationship. Your wealth is determined by your relationships. Your happiness is determined by your relationship. The happiness of your children, where you be wearing pampers and you can't put food in your mouth with your hand. Somebody had to feed you. It has to do with your relationship. I allow people to go back and think, because thinking makes a man. If you're not thinking, you'll be thinking. You better sit down to think and ask yourself some serious probing questions. The way I'm living my life, the way I've handled my family, the way I've raised my children, am I going to eat the fruits of those children, or they are just giving you food? Well, okay, eat it on your head like crayfish. You don't deserve it, but I'm giving you. Is that the kind of a future you want to have for yourself? Think about it. Let's take this call, please. Hello.
Hello,
good evening, sir. Who is on the line and where are you calling from? Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling. Oh my God, we love. Okay.
So, from what you are saying, and I hear the story of your guest, and the other boy you met in the campus. No, now how can that actually is a normal human being after seeing the negative things he has done in the family? Can that person change? Can the anything that they will be able to do good? I mean, of that type of boy. The other guy met in the campus. Is that natural human being?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You know, as a therapist, please go ahead.
If you understand the system of human beings, you know that they don't just change because they don't change for the good because of what they've experienced. In fact, the negative experience has a higher probability of making them become worse, not better. That's just it. So there are sometimes you have to go through a real turning point process, a real life-changing process for you to change, for you to really change for the better. Because that experience he had, you can't say because he had that experience, he's supposed to see it and learn from it and become. It's not as easy. Because
when you are dealing with issues, emotional issues like this, they are sitting in your subconscious.
Exactly.
You are dancing to a music you don't know is playing the rhythm.
Exactly.
With what she has seen and what she has gone through and that experience, I mean, honestly speaking, she should not even move around the corridor of abusive relationship or anything. She should have kept herself, kept my virginity and say, well, I'm going to do it better. She can't do it better because she's been damaged. That is it. So please don't judge anybody. Some of us, when we have struggle, let me explain this to us before I pick another cup. When we have a struggle, we come to God for help. Whether any religion, I just want to be a little bit liberal now. We come to Jesus for help. Some of us, when we don't see help, we backslide. I just say, "Woko water," it doesn't want it. Some will stay in church, lifting up holy hands, preaching, ushering, pastoring, interceding, and still be struggling. And that was an exact picture of what we saw. But we need to address it. If you don't trace it, you can't face it. If you cannot face it, you can't erase it. If you cannot erase it, you cannot replace it. We cannot afford to be comfortable in our various zones and say, well, whatever, God knows my weaknesses.
That's where the people use religion. You can use religion as a negative side. So people use religion as a way to be in denial, a way to even make themselves feel comfortable when they are doing something wrong. You understand? So that's the double.
Oh my goodness! Time is very much on our side. This is Olufunke Adetuberu. Please go ahead. Let's pick that call before we begin to gather ourselves and get out of the studio. Yes. Hello.
Hello, ma. Good afternoon.
Finally we got a lady. Good afternoon, my sister. How are you? Who is on the line and where are you calling from?
Fine, this is Badmus from Ibadan.
Thank you for calling. Yes.
Please, I'm having challenges in my marriage.
Okay. You know what you're going to do? Don't worry. Please send me a text. You can send me a text on 080-232-42389. I'll say that again. 080-232-42389. Thank you so much for trusting me with that information. And I have a good news for you. You're going to have a good time. You will laugh best and laugh last. Yes. Hello? Hello? Okay. Well, hello. Hello? Okay. Let me have my guest. Do you have something to tell? Hello? Oh dear. Hello, good afternoon. We have so many calls coming in. Yes, who's on the... Thank you. Thank you for calling. I'm so sorry. I need to, we have over, I'm not exaggerating. Sometimes we have 1,000 text messages and I'm not omnipotent. I'm not omnipresent. I promise you, I'm going to get back to you. Can you just text me now and say, Mommy, I've been sending you text messages. I'm so sorry. I'm just taking it line by line. We've seen a lot of people this week already, and we're still seeing people. I apologize for that. Please don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Hello? Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I'm Mr. Adewale from Ibadan.
Thank you for calling. From Aberdeen. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Aberdeen. Our prayer is that if we need the men, most of us we are the problem of this world.
Thank you for taking responsibility.
The special spirit upon our life, so that we'll be able to change to make this world to be what it's supposed to be.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Please, we are sorry we can't take more calls now because I still want to have a few minutes with my guest. When she got to realize that this is what her life it's all about, she's making some efforts. The clinical psychologist, I need to put you on a spot with this. I noticed that when people have struggles, they try to seek help. But why is it that they are not always wanting? Some don't even know they have issues. I mean, that one is another topic for another day. The ones that know they have issues, why is it taking them so much time? I need your professional information about this. Why is it taking them so much time to, even when we talk about recovery class, they say, I'm okay, I'm spiritual, I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm doing this. And they cover everything up in the name of spirituality, and they are not doing anything. And people around them know that this person is not living right. What is the problem?
There's a very wide dynamic to what we're talking about. You understand? For example, let's
you have just 2 minutes.
Let's
I'll just run
make it simple. An addiction, for example, the people most times even enjoy what they are doing. And the brain, once the brain gets accustomed to such negative behavior, it actually starts feeding off it. The chemical levels in the brain that are responsible for all those aspects starts, getting reuptaking in those areas. You understand? So it's like there's a physical process, there's a psychological process. I'm trying to rush, and there's even a behavioral process of what we are talking about. So naturally, the unconscious mind will start creating the concept of denial, using defense mechanisms to pretend to themselves, to lie to themselves, to make them believe that what they are doing is okay. There are some people that will tell you they'll change very soon. It's not a big deal. They are praying because they are actually the logical truth about it is they are still enjoying what they are doing, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and mentally.
They are feeding their emotions.
They are feeding themselves off negative.
Honestly, thank you so much. The wonderful, amazing clinical psychologist Olufunke Adetuberu. Thank you very much we really appreciate you, and we celebrate you for being very, very outspoken this afternoon. And my guest, I want to say thank you for sharing your life with us. We still have to come back. Like we said, we're not entertaining, we're just touching lives and making impact. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. This is She Matters with Olufunke. If you have any challenge, please don't die keeping it to yourself. Every form of addiction, you are living on a borrowed time, is going to blow on your face. Look at the man that was kidnapping. Now he has become a jelly. He's asking, I'll be born again, I will change. You see, you are living on a borrowed time. Anything you are used to and you refuse to change, you'll be chained. If you refuse to change, you'll be changed. You will be chained. You'll be changed and changed. Don't say this is my own, I am like that. Rigidity is an energy of a fool. Don't be rigid with your weaknesses. There's nobody that does not have a weakness. All we do is to build our strength and work on our weaknesses. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone here today for being part of this amazing program. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. I want to say a big thank you to the CEO of this station, Evangelist Nkaju Elayefele. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that has been. Tolu, thank you for being part of this program. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for communicating with us. Once again, my number is 080-232-42389. Please don't call. Send us a text. My battery is dying already for calls. Just send us a text on 080-232-42389. Appreciate you once again. Thank you for listening. I'll be right back next week. Next week is going to be, okay, don't let me promise. We're going to have a good time. I just want to do Yoruba next week. Let me let the cat out of the net. And we're going to dance. I want to please be telling all the grandmas, those who have missed us, let them come and let's enjoy ourselves together. I'll be a guest to speak a little bit of English, discuss some things, then we'll take it up, to the other level of speaking Yoruba all the way. Thank you for listening, and God bless you. I'll see you in another place, but at the top of the ladder. God bless you.